So we should have our textbook up, open, and we're ready to go. So in your notebooky thing, we've got our outline. We showed that last lesson for those who weren't here. There we go. It's there. We were looking at, pardon me? Thank you, dear. We were looking at some of those, but what we'll now do is I'll just save that under the lesson, and that will be easier for you. If you're away, you can just bang, go to the lesson. In the actual tab lessons, what I can now put is just whack the video in there. Does that work for you? For you, anything else you want, just let me know. All right, so today, we had to finish off the collinear. All right, so should be able to just get you going with the first little bits that we're doing, and then you'll be working a little way. And if you've got questions from the homework, please call me over. Obviously, if you didn't do it, can you please make sure that it is done a little bit later on. So, for those who weren't here last lesson, wow, can you work out what the diagrams mean? Crazy. We talked about what does co-linear, it might be a new word for us, but if we break it down, right, we've got how sad, wrote it there. But co-linear, linear, straight line, means we've got the same slope, right? So three lines, three dots, we can say they're all in a line like so. It doesn't necessarily mean that this one was the midpoint, because we're sort of sussing how can we work out some of these unknowns. And that was by using slope. If you're following along at home, right, 11D2. That's on in your textbook. There was a question 1, we're sort of skipping along because we don't have all the time in the world. Okay, so we can see we've got an unknown here, and we need to try and find it. Yeah? So what is something that you could do? Look at the underlined bit. Yeah, so we can, would you agree we can work out the slope of AC? And then that would have to equal the slope of, now Coops might want to say, that's going to equal the slope of BC. JP might want to say, I'm not in the mood for a BC today. And he might go, I'm going to say the slope of, that should have been AB. Writing too many things. AB. Right. He might say, well, AB, imagine if these were my points here. C's up there. Right. Would you agree the slope from A to B does indeed equal the slope from B to C? They have to be. And the slope from A to B could also equal? Pardon? A to C, right? Which one is the one you want to use? Either one. Yeah. Does that make sense? So, can we go and have a look at this? So, first thing I would do is definitely find AB. Do we remember how to find our slope? Some people weren't here the last couple of lessons. Who can remind us of our slope formula? Hit me. I heard rise over run, and then I also heard Y2 excellent. Okay? So, only a couple of questions. Shouldn't take us too long. Little itty-bitty things that we have to do today. All right? Rocket. Okay, so Y-intercept. You have seen this, We've talked about it. M stands for slope, gradient. Here's your Y-intercept. Beautiful. Billy, sus, because you don't, this is sort of recapping some of the other stuff, and then we can go on. You can finish that in a minute. Right, general form. Here it comes. General form. Basically, it's everything over one side. That's all. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, but there should not be any fractions here. And just to keep life even more exciting, it's preferable if this is a positive value. We don't like to start it off with minus 2x. Will you be marked wrong if it is? No. We just try and be nice, polite, mathematics. So no panicking. If we have a look, and I do not believe that you need to write any of this down like question 1. I don't believe so. But state whether the following equations are in intercept form or general form. Does it look like this? As the intercept form? Does it look like this? The general form. Ooh. General, because it's 1, 1, minus 1. There you go. Intercept. You too, you guys. Too good. Are we okay with that? What? Not happy. What's the matter? It's just they're going to use this language. So sometimes a question will ask you, because you're going to be able to they're going to ask you, find the equation of a line. And they will say, put it in y-intercept form. So basically, make it y equals. Yeah? They might then say, could you please write it in general form? And so, is that okay? That's all we're saying. All right. So I don't think you need to write anything for number 1, or do you want to? Good. Okay. When it is in y-intercept form, that's when it's really easy to find the gradient and find the y-intercept. So if we're looking at this, state the gradient, aka the slope, and the y-intercept. So I'll do the first one. Again, I don't think you need to write this down unless you want to. Slope is 2. Y-intercept, Now the y-intercept is a coordinate, so please don't just say 5. It's 0, 5. Yeah? Who would like to play B? What is your slope?
Minus 6x.
Ooh. Just minus 6, okay? Leave the x out. That's just telling you that that is the slope. We happy with that? Slope minus 6. Y-intercept, anybody? 0 minus 1. Now they're trying to trick you. They're putting fractions in. What is the slope? Y-intercept 0 minus 2. What is the slope? Aha, you got sucked in if you said 10. So the slope, remember, is the coefficient, the number in front of x. So what is my slope? -1. And your y-intercept is 0, 10. So a couple of you fell for that one. Well, if you really wanted to, you could rewrite that as minus x plus 10, but I'd like to think you don't have to. You can look at it like that, knowing slope is the coefficient of x. It's not just the number that comes first. Yeah? Okay, what about E? Slope is -4. Don't just say 4, and the y-intercept is 0, 1. Okay, are we happy here? What about H? What's my slope there? Are you gonna stick with 4 over 8? Half, 1 over 2. Well done. Okay, so it's that whole. Whoosh. So yes, 4 over 8, but always cancel it to 1/2. And of course, your y-intercept will be 0 minus 5 over 8. Do you need to write anything for that, people, or do you remember this? General form? So this one, we want to get x's and y's on the same. So pop 2x plus y. Now, your textbook likes everything on one side. I like it like this. I like it like that. What are you asking, JP? Yes. So we want to put our... Don't, that's fine. You ask. I love that you ask questions. Okay, what about B? Now, if you went -3x plus y equals -4, I'm going to do this. It's a bit yucky having the minus at the front, right? Now, you've already written it down. You don't want to get the whiteout out. You don't want to get the eraser. So how do we get rid of that negative there? Times through. So you can just say this is the same as 3x, take y equals 4. Right? You can just multiply through, make everything minus. Love the face. If you did this, guys, to be honest with you, I think this is pretty basic algebra and some of us are a little bit worried. So can we please listen? And for those people who are talking, maybe because you already know it, that's fine. Give the others a little bit of a chance. Here's my equal sign. If I kept the 3x where it was, but now the y had to come and join it. This is a positive y. The minus. And then if I pop the 4 on the other side. So they are the same. Can you see? They are the same. I mean, I would then write this again. But, 6 equals 3 times 2. Isn't that the same as 3 times 2 equals 6? Doesn't matter what side they're on. Some people are still in that, oh, move it to the other side. You've got to put the minus. You swap everything. That's all good. Is that okay? All right. So just reminding you of these little things, but I don't think they're that bad. Would you agree? Now, if you want to go and finish C by yourself in a minute, you can while you suss this. Can you read that and tell me what are you going to do? Now, please note, A and D. If you would like to do them all, knock yourself out. But A, D, 1, 2, 4. If you wanted to do 3, feel free. Or. So basically, what we're saying, this is X, this is Y. Find out if it lies on the line. Well, we sub. So Y, we pop in the 13. X, we're saying, is 15 take 2. Does it equal? Yes, it does. So it lies on the line. If we take another equation, 3x take 4, if we sub into that, right, y is still 13, your x is 5, so 3 5s are 15, take 4. Now 15 take 4 doesn't equal 13, so this 3, 5, 13 does not lie on this line. Okay, it's that simple. Go forth. So we are going to be using not the y-intercept form, right? Back in year 9, they might have said the slope is 2, the y-intercept is 7. Ha ha ha. Next person who talks. Seriously, come on up. Take the class. If you're not prepared to do that, be quiet. So you get y equals 2x plus 7. Very nice. The problem is you're not going to be given that nice information. So a typical question that we will have is you will be given, all you need is indeed the slope, and it could be any point. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the y-intercept. So let's imagine I gave you a slope of 2/3 and we said that it passes through the point. Give me a point, any point, but under 10. We're going to go minus 7 and someone say 8. Okay? So we want to find that equation of the line. Now, do not write this bit down. Please do not. So if we tried to stick with this method, right, we would go y equals, what's my slope? 2/3 x plus c. Using the work that we've just done, how do you think we're meant to find c? Sub. You'd have to sub that for 7 and that for 8. That's going to be hideous. Would you agree? Lots of fractions. You'd probably have to get your calculator out. Yeah? Much nicer method. Here we go. So this is what you will have to write down. And now I think I'm going to be stuffed. So example, put a little heading, example, finding the equation of a line, and you're going to have to put a circle around it because you're going to come back to it time and time again. This is a massive skill that is used in year 12, year 11th, finding the equation of a line. Well, that's interesting. There we we go. So put little example, need, slope, and a point. If you have those two things, you can find the equation of any straight line. Just waiting for people to write that down, and then we'll be good to go, right? So our slope formula is the slope equals what? Y? Take? Y. Yep. So I have to put the Y in there because that's in my equation. Take my Y value. And then it's going to be X take my X value. So plus 7. And guess what we have to do? Cross multiply. That's right, because you might be going, hey, Miss McDonald, you were just complaining. You were just complaining about fractions, and you've introduced fractions over here. But look at this. In one swift maneuver, we will cross multiply. Do you need me to write the brackets? I will, just in case. So you will now go 2 times x plus 7 equals... Yeah? Expand. Now, I would probably go straight to this line. So if you don't want to put the brackets, I'm not forcing you to. And now you read the question. If the question said, put it in Y-intercept form, then you have to rearrange this to get Y all on its lonesome. If it said, put it in general form, what do you have to do? Put X's and Y's together, trying to keep your X positive. If it doesn't say, then you choose whatever form you like. Either Y-intercept or general. Don't go freestyle. Yeah? I'm very much a general kind of person, so I would leave that as 2x take 3y equals, minus 2038. What do you reckon? I mean, I could show you, if you really wanted to, I could show you and finish it that style, but don't make me. You want me to? It's hideous. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just annoying. Yeah? What if I gave you something like this? I'll leave this up. And by the way, this is now on your OneNote. Have you sussed that? What if I said, find the equation of the line through the points 3 minus 1 and 5, 8? How are you meant to do that? I told you the two things that you need to find the equation of a line, a slope and a point. Yes, you would work out the slope first and then use any point to do this. Oui? And they're going to make it a little bit harder, like they're going to try and hide the slope from you and you have to come up with it as we go. Yeah. So here's a typical way I could hide the slope. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to and goes through minus 6, 2. So what two things do you need to find the equation of a line? Slope and a point, right? You've got your point. Oh, you don't have your slope. It is 4 because parallel means same slope. And then you go, oh, well, if they said it's parallel, what if I change my mind? It is perpendicular. What's the slope then? Flip and reverse the sign, -1/4. So they're going to start not just going, oh, here's a silver tray, here's your slope, here's your point. You're going to mix it up a little bit. you'll get there and we'll get practice. But for those who are quite happy, you will mosey on. So 11G, hit it. You happy? I'll come around and assist, but that's going to run into your homework. Love you.